Internet of Things, as you all know, is growing exponentially. So around mid-90s, we had around 100 millions of internet connections. Right now, we have some 9 billion internet connections. So almost all people on the earth have one internet connection. In 5 years from now, we will count the internet connections in tenths of billions instead. So this area is growing very rapidly, the Internet of Things area. And sensors are put on everything. But it's probably not the sensors that is really interesting. The interesting thing that most people want is the data that comes from the sensors. So with that data, we could probably do a lot of stuff that we don't even know about today, that we can't even think about today. And Internet of Things is maybe not that much about things. It's about services. Creating services around the data that is collected is something that a lot of companies, including Google, Facebook, is doing today, and probably a lot of other companies will do tomorrow. On Mobile Heights and MAPSI, we are running this Minimum Viable Device, MVD, project. It's a Vinnova project, finance project, with some partners here from the region that we work together with. The project ran from last year to January next year. And it's about Internet of Things, and I will come into that a little bit in the next picture. Let me just skip the Mobile Heights. Mobile Height is an organization which is member-owned. So all those companies here is owning us, and we help all our member companies with mobile expertise and connecting companies within this cluster. MAPSI is called Mobile and Pervasive Computing Institute. It's an institute connected to Lund University, doing research within cloud technology and Internet of Things. So, Minimum Viable Device project. The project aim is to create a reference design for a cheap, flexible solution for Internet of Things. It should be a reference design that companies could take the information from and start their development from. So I know a lot of friends that are currently running different Internet of Things projects today. They do a lot of things, they do the same thing a lot of the time. So even though they have different services that they are developing, they are creating the same gateway, the same kind of software architecture, and the same connections or sensors that should connect to the internet. So people are doing the same thing over and over again. And that's not what is important for them, because that's not what they are making money from or will make money on in the future. What they will make money on in the future is their thing and their service and their... but they have to spend this time because there do not exist a reference model that they can use. So that's what we are creating for them. So they can come and just take that reference model and then start from, not starting from zero, but then start from from a higher level and skip that work that a lot of companies have had to put into their projects today. So what we have is sensors, or an easy way to connect sensors to a gateway and connect it then to the internet. We also have an architecture that should be generic and should be possible to use in a lot of different solutions. And so yes, as I said, it's MVD is also quite powerful. Here I have an MVD, which is called a modcom. It's a very powerful computing device, which means that you can put a lot of logic and computing out distributed in your network, which means that you can deal with a lot of problems, security problems that way, and so on. That you do a lot of computing out in the leaves of the internet. In this way, we also minimize the bandwidth needed for the devices. And in the future, with the 50 billion of devices that will be connected to internet in 5 years from now, there will be a little bit crowded on the internet. Probably a lot of new services will be implemented that takes quite much bandwidth. So let us go to next picture. MVD, as I said, it's a gateway, but it's also a computing device that could do a lot of things. So this one have Wi-Fi. It has NFC, GPS, Bluetooth low energy for Internet of Things. It also has this one has a camera where you can do a lot of interesting stuff. Have a microphone, accelerometer, and compass. It have quite a big memory, so 1 GB RAM and 4 GB NAND. So you can do a lot with this device. The software architecture that actually Softhouse have helped us create looks like this. So we have the sensors out here. We have the sensors connecting to the minimum viable device, which can then talk with the back end through an MQTT interface. So this one, MVD, also communicates with a mobile phone for a specific application that we are working together with Skånetrafiken to have an automatic ticketing functionality. So this is some of the things that we are working on. So as Oscar said here before, we are going to have a hackathon. It's going to take place in April, 10th to 12th of April. So it's a 50-hour hackathon from Friday afternoon till Sunday afternoon. We will give each team a development kit with a lot of interesting stuff that you can create a lot of interesting things. For instance, you will get one of these, each team will get one of these MVDs here, so that you could create all the interesting projects that Oscar was talking about before. we also have a back end. IBM is helping us with a back-end cloud service. And then to define all of this, Arduino is helping us to set up all the development kits. But it's quite an expensive development kit that you will get. So here is an interesting little thing. It's called a light blue bean. It's actually an Arduino. Could I say that? It's an Arduino, a small Arduino, just 1 centimeter to one, or half a centimeter to half a centimeter. And then the interesting thing here is that this one also have Bluetooth low energy. So you could just take your sensor and push it into the holes of this light blue bean, and all of a sudden you have a device that you could just glue up somewhere, and you can have a sensor and check everything with that device, communicating with the MVD in a very easy way. So this is the environment that we will give to the teams for the hackathon. And we do this in order to be able to use the MVD in more different applications. There are 2 themes during the hackathon. And the 2 themes are, one is smart transport. So it's Skånetrafiken who's sponsoring the teams to create the next travel experience. So you can in any way create the next travel experience, or the travel experience of the future. Then E.ON is sponsoring the other track, and they would like to have a solution for the smart home. So those are the 2 tracks, and as I said, you get all of this stuff to create a solution within transport or smart home. We also do a lot of other interesting projects right now. So, for instance, we will have the MVD in one of the courses in LTH in Lund, starting from September this year. We will also start with Skånetrafiken on lab tests with a system that I talked about before. So automatic ticketing and information, better information for the customers. Yeah, some other stuff that we are doing in the project right now. So you can find the hackathon on Nordic IoT hackathon. .se. So actually, if you go in here to register, the registration was ended yesterday. But for you guys, we have the registration open another day or 2. So if you come in before the end of Thursday, you will also be part of the process of being able to come into the hackathon. And maybe you think, yeah, but all teams could be part of the hackathon. But it's not true in this hackathon. So what we do is that we collect all applications beforehand, and then we pick the 10 best applications. And those teams could participate in the hackathon. And right now we have 51 applications for the hackathon. So it's a good challenge to go in to registrations and make your team, your project, becoming part of the hackathon. That would be good for Malmö to have more teams in this hackathon. Actually, we have teams from over 15 different countries that have applied already. So it's an international bunch of people. But you will get all information on NordicIoTHackathon.se. Last thing, people sometimes wonder why Vinnova and stuff like that puts money into projects like this. And one of the reasons is that we would like companies to start with this technology. And already now we have 2 companies, or not 2 companies starting, 1 company starting with this technology, the ModCam. And actually this is a ModCam that they use the MVD technology in. But also Sigma Connectivity, this is their reference design, and they sell this Internet of Things knowledge also to anybody who wants to implement Internet of Things. And they have the reference design and everything. So we have 2 companies already starting from this project, even before end of phase 2, which is quite good result. But anyway, I want you to go in and apply for the hackathon and do it today or tomorrow.